especially our listening audience. Ask Dr. Sarncy if you wouldn't mind leading us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Dr. Sarncy. Florida Gateway College Board of Trustees, you will hear any citizen who wishes to address our board. It'll be on a one-time basis, and it has to pertain to a relevant topic. The board wishes to hear more about the topic. That topic will be scheduled for a future board meeting. Each speaker is limited to 3 minutes, and the time dedicated to that topic will not exceed 20 minutes. I do not have any public comment listed. So hearing none, we'll move on to item 4 in the agenda, and that's the approval of the board minutes that are dated September 9th, 2020. Our board's had these minutes and the opportunity to review them. Okay. At the bottom of the first page, item Roman numeral 7, where at the very second to last line, at the end of the line, it should say NCLEX. So we need to make that correction, NCLEX. We would like to entertain a motion, unless there are other corrections, like to entertain a motion for approval with that correction.
I make a motion.
Thank you, Mrs. McGinnis. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mrs. Allen seconds. All in favor of that motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Same sign. The motion is carried. Thank you. Now we have our student government report and Miss Aliyah Montgomery. I said that correctly, didn't I? Aliyah. She said it's like Muhammad Aliyah. And she gave me a fist bump, and I said, "You're not kidding."
Good evening. I would like to update you all on the progress that Student Government Association has done since our last meeting. SGA has a new campaign where we provide free vitamin products to some of the buildings on campus. We are purchasing products from Flow, which is a company founded on the mission that everyone has access to quality menstrual products. For every 10 products purchases, the company will donate 1 product to a nonprofit. All the products are 100% organic and biodegradable. We all have placed dispensers in Building 4, 7, 18, 103, and 200. We have tabletop kits in the Granger Hall dorm building and Building 59. On September 16th, we hosted our voter registrations drive to sign students up for the register to vote. We hosted Multicultural Day on September 29th. This event was well attended by students, and for the entertainment portion, we had an event with hula dancers who performed Polynesian dances styles across from there. They even invited and dressed up guest dancer VP Tony, and he showed us his dance moves. Thank you, VP Tony, for your being a good sport. And this concludes my report. Are there any questions?
Did you get him to agree to make that a part of his board presentation?
No, not necessarily. But also, I would like to talk about the volleyball team. I'm captain of the volleyball team here, and we did have our 1 win that we did for this season, which we haven't done in, I think, a couple of seasons past. So we're trying to flip the program around for you guys, and it's, you know, a step-by-step thing. So we really appreciate it for you guys to support us. But thank you all.
Thank you, Aliyah.
Thank you.
Thank you. There are no comments from board members. It's a wonderful presentation. Very well done. Very well done. Great activities. The voter registration, multicultural event. Thank you so much for sponsoring those especially. And the dancing. We have the presentation now of our consent agenda. The items on the consent agenda are routine business, state records, compliance items. All items have been reviewed by our board attorney and are available to the board for its examination. Any trustee can request a topic to be removed from the consent agenda and discussed further. Typographical errors will be noted and corrected in the board minutes. You've had the opportunity, the board's had the opportunity to look over the consent agenda. Do you have any questions? Are there any items that you would like to remove and look at separately? Any questions? If there are none, then I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Dr. Sorensen makes a motion,
I'll second.
and Mr. Brannon seconds the motion. All in favor of that motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, the same sign. The motion is carried. Thank you so much. We are on to Roman numeral 7, and that brings up Senior Dobson, Academic Affairs.
Good evening, everyone. So, piece of good news. As you know, ASIN, our nursing accreditation body, has been on campus. They were on campus the last today and yesterday. Yes, bless you. Carrie Nunn Ellison from ASIN was here reviewing our program, interviewing many of us. I don't know everyone that was in that interview, but I know in our interview, Dr. Barrett and Michelle and Tony and I were there, and Shane Neely-Smith. So after all said and done, we had a report today, and she reported out that with the exception of the scores, which we already knew, we know our scores don't measure up to ASIN's requirement of 80% over a 2-year period. So we need to make at least 80% in one of those years. We knew we were going to get dinged on that. But other than that, an excellent report. She bragged on the program. She talked about the faculty, the staff, the resources that have been given. She mentioned that something that we really should be proud of is that while we don't have the scores that we hope for, she mentioned that we have a higher than, she said, well above average over the national average completion rate. In other words, we're keeping more students through the program than the national average, and she applauded us for that. She also pointed out, and we had included it in the chart, that upwards of 99% by the second attempt passed the test. So in other words, you know, students are going out, and she mentioned that 100% get jobs. So she said, you need to really realize what you have here, the excellent program that you have. Very commending us. So let me tell you well, first, let me stop here because Dr. Barrett was there. He was in both of those meetings today and yesterday. Anything?
It was just a different accreditation visit. She was very supportive and rah-rah about the institution. Good. And if you've gone through the SACS presentations before, took me by surprise, and even my delivery was, and you know, when she mentioned the second time that our passing rates, I really wanted to say, well, then why are you here? but I mean, because you're here because of the first. But we couldn't. So I mean, so it was a very positive meeting, and I think we'll have great results. And I just want to thank Dr. Shane and Patricia Warner and Brian, who really brought us there. So.
Well, so next steps. The report will go to a committee of 3 who will read it, and in January will submit their findings up to the ASIN board. The ASIN board will review it and make a decision in March. So in March, we will hear the official thing, but let me tell you what she said to us. Here are the possibilities. Either fully accredited with conditions, or just fully accredited. So no probation. She was not recommending probation, and she doesn't believe that at any point along the line that will happen. She found our program in good standing. So we want to thank you for your support. Thank you for the things that you do every day to help us do our jobs well, and we're really proud for the visit. And NACI, which is another accrediting organization, has notified us that in November they will be here, end of October, November, so that's one more that we need to get through this term, and we will be done with the accreditation work. And that's my report.
Our last board meeting, September 9th, I think it was, you gave an outstanding presentation. It was very transparent, made us fully aware of where we were and where we're going and how we're going to get there. And it was really great, really great. So I don't feel like that we need to cover that territory again. Except I want to say that it's remarkable to get that kind of report given the incredible challenges that you all have been laboring under for the past year and a half. And we just look forward to great things in March from the accrediting body.
Yeah, thank you.
You don't want to say anything else?
I'm just thankful. I'm just
Okay.
thankful. Incredibly
I'll see
grateful
that from
for the
mine,
work.
I guess.
And he's referring to my decision, and it was mine, that I leave in December. I'm so thankful. I've learned so much here. The people, this community, I love dearly. And I've enjoyed getting to know all of you. I already knew some of you beforehand. It's been a great honor to work with Dr. Barrett. We may at times do this, but I know his heart. I know what he's about, and I couldn't be more optimistic about things going forward than I am with you all, with him leading this institution, and with people that you have sitting here and they're working out there. We've got a tremendous thing here. It is not utopia, but I can promise you I leave feeling very good about where we are, and excited about my own journey and God's call on my life. He's asked me to step out in faith with nothing. That's not typical for a 56-year-old man and with a family and kids still in college. But I've known it's the call, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to obey and see where that leads and what happens. If you see me mowing grass, it's probably the job I currently have. And so congratulate me. But actually, I'm whatever it is. It may be sabbatical. It may be working my backyard. It may be just spending time fishing with my sons or my daughter, or there may be work in many ways that places that I need to do. But I'm so thankful. I sprung this on Dr. Barrett, and true to his form, he worked with me. He accepted that was hard. He's given me every opportunity to stay here. Every opportunity. I've always felt like I could be here as long as I wanted to be, and I'm thankful that you have allowed me that. You inherited me. And, I don't know that that's a great inheritance, okay? But he's done it remarkably well, and I've learned from you, And God has used all these things, these face plants I've done, these successes I've had, these things that have happened in my life to sharpen me, to cut away some of the things that need to be cut away, and they're still on the journey. So still more work to do, but thank you. I love you guys.
I know that we will have an opportunity to speak, individually and specifically as the time grows nearer and dearer to Dr. Dobson. We are selfish people. We are, by nature, and we are very sad, but very glad for you. We're very happy for you. Sad for us, glad for you. We could all I bet you didn't know things about me, but I'll bet you all did not know that many, many years ago, decades ago, when I was high school principal for the first time, I went to a Spanish class where a bright young Spanish teacher was teaching, and I needed a great assistant principal. And so I got to work with Senior Dobson, who I learned would be as fine a human being as I would ever work with in my life. I would never work with a better person than Brian Dobson, and he made a big difference in my life, still does till this day. You're an incredible human being, and it's a privilege to work with you, and a blessing to this institution. Okay. On to Roman numeral 8. It's dance time.
Just don't wear that outfit you wore that day.
It's hard to perform without my grass skirts. Fly side to side. I catch on America's Funniest Home Videos. I'm sure it's out there. Well, to start out with, it's always been difficult following Brian on the agenda, and now he made it even more difficult. Thanks a lot, Brian. Brian, you are truly a legend, and thank you for everything. I'd like to start out talking about our dual enrollment program. Right now, Julie Cannon, our Director of Dual Enrollment, our academic advising team, and myself are visiting all 7 public high schools in our district to meet with current and new dual enrollment students. We started out at Dixie High School, which is an incredible building, incredible staff. We've been to Columbia earlier this week, and we were at Bell High School this morning. We will be at Union High School tomorrow. We will be at Baker next week, and we will be back to Columbia next week. So we're excited. We're getting all of our high schools in and meeting with our students. When we meet with these students, we're sitting down and we're talking about spring registration, putting together our class schedules for spring. At the same time, we're also putting together education plans for each of these students. Each education plan is now located in their Fscj Navigate app on their phone. So these students now have the plan between today and when they graduate from high school, what courses they need to take fall, spring, and summer. Starting this summer, they can actually register for those courses with one push of the button on their phones. And if they actually wanted to, they could show mom and dad what classes they're going to be taking over the next couple of years, but we'll leave that up to them. So we're excited about that. We met with 30 students today at Bell. We had 35 students at Columbia, and we were in the 20 to 30 range at Dixie. Absolutely phenomenal students, great stories, and great staffs. The high schools in our district are currently beginning to per-test their students for admission to the dual enrollment program for this spring. We'll be hosting our English and Math boot camps October 18th through the 29th to help support high school students that need to improve their scores so they can get into the dual enrollment program. Our TRIO program currently has 149 students registered. This is the most students we've ever had registered in our TRIO program at this point of the academic year. Our capacity for the program is actually 140. We're allowed to go up to 15% over capacity. Right now we have set up a wait list. I think this is I think I can say that this is a sign of what's going on in our economy, the economic situations our students are in, first generation students coming back, and I think it says a lot about our student body. The staff over in our TRIO program is phenomenal. They work so closely with these students day in and day out. They will be going to the University of Florida on October 22nd to take a campus tour and to meet with the admissions office there directly and to get more information on attending UF. So we're getting these students on the right track. So phenomenal work in our TRIO program. I haven't had the opportunity to discuss that program in a while, but I was blown away at what we've been seeing this year. So a lot of good work going on there. Athletics. Our women's cross country team is currently ranked number 13 in the nation. They've been in the top 20 all season and have been ranked as high as number 9 this year. They're crushing it. Our next meet is the Fscj Blue Wave Cross Country Invite this Friday, October 15th. Florida Gateway College will be hosting the Division II Volleyball Conference Tournament November 3rd through the 7th. We'll be hosting 6 in-state colleges and one college from Mississippi. So it opens with a banquet on Wednesday the 3rd and goes all the way through. It's a double elimination tournament. We will have hundreds of attendees coming through, in and out, and staying the night in Lake City and frequenting hotels and restaurants and everything else. So we're excited to have all of those schools here in town. And our next esports event is tomorrow night. Our team will be competing in Overwatch against Navarro College in Corsicana, Texas. We will not be in Texas, but they are the hosts because it'll be on their servers, and they are 3-0. Of course, Navarro has a student population of 9,000, so it truly is a David versus Goliath opportunity for us, and they're 3-0, so it will definitely be a challenge for our esports program, but I'm sure they're up to it. You can catch that live on our Facebook feed if you'd like to. That'll be tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Our Career Services Department will be hosting our Career Fair in conjunction with the Fall Festival, October 27th. We expect this to be one of the largest career fairs we've hosted in a while. We're looking at 20 to 30 different companies coming in. Some of those that have already RSVP'd are New Millennium, Lake City Correctional Facility, Columbia County Sheriff's Office, First Federal Savings Bank, the Marine Corps, and Lake City Medical. All of these businesses have stated they are hiring and very interested in our students. So I think that also says something about the local economy. They are looking for employees. We'll be more than happy to get our students hired there. And finally, just a quick enrollment update. Spring registration begins October 25th, and we'll be hosting our FGC Campus Open House on November 9th from 5 to 7 p.m., where we invite the entire community, the entire district to come out. All of our programs will be out, showcased for anybody who would like to come and learn more about those. That is my report.
Wonderful, wonderful report. Thank you. We appreciate all the specifics. The thought of each student's program of study being right there in front of them, their whole academic career here at the touch of a button, where they can keep their eyes on the map, that is so powerful. That's so compelling, reinforcing. Wonderful. That's so exciting. Trustees, do we have anything else? Thank you. I won't say what Dr. Barrett indicated may have been the impetus for the great work of the recent track meet by the cross-country team. It's something about them running away, you're dancing, them running away.
Running away from your kids.
It probably was.
But I'm not going to say that.
I do whatever I can to help.
I will not say that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Roman numeral 9, our business services report by Ms. Michelle Holloway.
Hello, good evening. First, I wanted to say, Senor, it's been a pleasure to work with you. I wish you all the best. I know you're going to do phenomenal in whatever you choose. You will be missed. No. Okay, I have my regular budget amendments to ask for approval on. So, budget amendment number 3, restricted fund, Fund 2 for fiscal year 2021. The college requests approval of budget amendment number 3 to the restricted current fund, Fund 2, for fiscal year 2021 through 2022. This amendment recognizes revised award authorizations and new grants received in the 2021-2022 fiscal year.
Okay, do we have a motion? Second?
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and second to approve the recommendation. Is there any questions about that? If not, all in favor of that motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed to the motion? Same sign, the motion is carried. And I'm sorry, that's Ms. McGinnis who made the motion and Dr. Tepedino who seconded. Okay, letter C, under Roman numeral 9.
Thank you. We are requesting approval of Fund 7, Budget Amendment 3, which has been revised, so the report reflects actual revenue, revised budgeted expenditures, actual expenses, and updated projects through September 21st, 2021.
Okay, you hear the request. Can we have a motion to approve it?
I so move.
Mrs. Allen makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
And Dr. Cerncy seconds it. You all hear the motion to approve the recommendation by Mrs. Holloway. All in favor of that, members of the board, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, the same sign. The motion's carried.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. President's report, number 10.
I think I'll begin by introducing Lee Pinchok from the Foundation for Florida Gateway College with this report this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Barrett, Board of Trustees. Mr. Crawford, when you mentioned that we are selfish human beings, when I hear the words selfless and integrity, I think of Dr. Dobson. And not only has he been a tremendous friend and mentor to me in my time here at the college, most importantly, he's a tremendous donor to our foundation that we know will continue for many years. He told me I could put him on the spot. I'm going to start off with a brief update of what the foundation is accomplishing right now, and then we will get into the audit report. Today, we actually launched our month-long, what we're calling Giving Day, Month of Giving, which the day is technically November 16th, but we have a goal to raise $50,000 for the institution by November 16th. Communication went out on that today, and we've already started to receive contributions just today, so thank you to those of you who have already donated. I am happy to also report that the family of J.Y. Wilson, one of the founders of Florida Gateway College, or it wasn't named that at the time, as you know, they have once again agreed to do a $10,000 matching donation to kick off the campaign. So for the first $10,000 that is donated, they will match your contribution dollar for dollar. So please spread the word on that. We will be, we're open for business for the next 30 days. At any time, you can make a donation. The other opportunity that we've been working on most of the year is the STEM building, which is the naming opportunities. If you remember back to the groundbreaking ceremony, we had the 11 large classrooms and labs that we were going to offer to donors for naming opportunities for the amount of $25,000. I'm proud to announce that there are only 2 of those rooms left, and we believe we are really close to at least 1 more, if not 2 more of those, so we could be sold out hopefully by the end of the week. So with that, at this time, there's actually 3 of those rooms that I'd like to request some naming approval on tonight. One of them being the Molly Harris Collaboration Room, the Grace and Al Harder Classrooms 1 and 2, so those are 2 rooms. This is the same donor that donated to the CDL complex. They've been very generous to us lately. And the one that I think you'll find will be the closest to all of our hearts in this room, and I think it's a little apropos that the seat is actually empty next to Dr. Teppadino right now, because I'm very happy to announce that one of the rooms in perpetuity will be named the Dr. Athena Randolph Biology and Botany Laboratory. And their family is ecstatic to do that, and I know that's very, very close to my heart, as she was my children's pediatrician for many years, and obviously she sat up on this dais for 25 years as well. So I'd like to request approval of those naming opportunities at this time.
Make a motion. Do we do that?
Pardon me, who made the motion? Dr. Teppadino made the motion. Do we have a second?
Second it.
And Ms. McGinnis seconds it. Is there any discussion?
It's a fantastic thing to do.
Yes, absolutely. Wonderful. And those rooms, and we'd like it entered in the record, will be Molly Harris, Grace and Al Harder, and Athena Randolph. That's our motion. All in favor of that motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, the same sign, and the motion is carried.
Okay, thank you. As the rest of the rooms officially come in and we've got signed contracts and agreements, we will bring those to you for additional approvals. So on to our annual report and audit report. I'm once again proud to announce that our year-end audit, which I just want to bring to everyone's attention, the foundation's fiscal year goes April 1st through March 31st. That's so we can get our books cleaned and then over to Michelle, who left the room, it appears, but over to the college so that ours can be rolled up into your financial statements as well. So this is representing April 1st, 2020 through March 31st, 2021. I'm again happy to announce this is a unmodified, clean audit opinion with no deficiencies from our external accounting firm. And at this time, I'd just like to highlight a couple of the numbers for the year. We won't go through a majority of this at all. Total revenues for the year were $6,094,000. A majority of that comes from investments and then donor gifts as well. That is an increase of $4.6 million from the previous year. The majority of that reasoning is because if you remember, essentially when our fiscal year started was about 10 days after the financial markets took a 33% tumble. So this is making up for a majority of that on our last year's statements. It was a much different story. One other number I'd like to point out to avoid any confusion is you'll see the support to the college went from $1.4 million last year to $900,000 this year. That is just due to the ebb and flow of what may be a large gift, and that is exactly what this was. This was what was represented the previous year, the $500,000 was actually the large in-kind donation for the Illusti complex that we then turned over to the college. So based on the amount of large gifts in a year, that number could fluctuate, but it is our goal to average at least $1 million in contributions to the college each year and to be very consistent with our investment policies and how we transfer over that money each year. In addition to that, I just want to point out one more comparison to try to go apples to apples, and this is where Ms. Norris usually asks me this question, so if she's listening, hopefully she's watching, I'm answering her question again tonight. Our fundraising revenue year over year from last year to this year increased 12% from the previous year. So we tried to exclude everything else, just go cash to cash to give you guys that number. Additionally, at this time, the foundation has no debt other than our current payables, and at this time, we'd like to request the acceptance of our audit.
Great audit, very clean audit. And we've all sat on a lot of boards, and it's not unusual to get some little ding here or there, and that was about as clean as you're going to see. What's the mind of the board concerning the accepting of this audit report?
I'll move to approve the audit.
Mr. Brandon makes a motion to approve. We have a second.
Second.
Mrs. Allen seconds the motion. All in favor of that motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, the same sign. The motion is carried. Great work.
Okay, and our final item tonight is the recertification of the foundation that we always do at this meeting as the sole direct support organization for what would be the fiscal year July 2022 through June 30th, 2023. We request that recertification at this time.
Very straightforward matter. Can we have a motion in a second?
So
Dr. Cerency moves. Ms. McGinnis, you seconded? Dr. Cerency made the motion. You'll second?
I'll second it.
Thank you so much. All in favor of that motion, members of the board, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, the same sign. The motion's carried.
Thank you for your time.
Well done.
All right, I'll continue with my report. Tonight at 7 o'clock begins the theater performance of The Little Prince. It's a children's play. It begins at 7 p.m. tonight. We will also have a performance tomorrow night at 7, Saturday 2 p.m. matinee, and a Sunday 2 p.m. matinee. Tomorrow in the morning, we'll be hosting 200 homeschool students from our service district. We'll be performing for them the play. Get out and about, so many of us. So I thought that was really nice of Todd and Sif and his staff to do. A follow-up to Mr. Brannon's request to have Mike Williams here to honor him, and Rachel Garland, who Lee and I had a meeting with yesterday from Nutrien. Mike is now taking on the interim city manager for Lake City, and he's asked that we delay that until April in the springtime. So he didn't think it was time.
down in my office, they wanting something, so, wanting money. So
I know.
That's why you don't have time to come down here and get anything.
So, no, and so...
Let's make sure we do it, though.
We will. I want to make sure we followed up with that. On the same token, as you all know, about 2 weeks ago, we had a joint meeting, first time in history, the college and the city and the county, to discuss some issues. Mike was day 2 of his city managership there, and we've already come to an agreement, and it was passed through the city council to move forward with an interlocal agreement that Mr. Fiegel had with the city that will jointly do a survey and some depth charges to see all the pipes and sewers and so forth, and a survey, and we'll jointly share in the cost of that to determine whose pipes are whose. So that moved very quickly. Due to Mr. Williams, and we want to thank the city for that. Mr. Williams also set up a meeting with Greg Bailey from North Florida architect firm and engineering firm, and we met to talk about some stormwater issues and some potential grants that the city and the college can apply for to jointly try to stop some of the stormwater issues that we're having. So that was a really positive meeting with those. The county, we're going through our motions with the county. Mr. Pinchuk, as we had asked him to do after that meeting, reached out to the county to serve on the county planning and zoning board. The response quickly after that was there's no county openings, and they don't see any openings in the near future. So we're following up with that, and I met with the county manager about that, who did not know that. So we're working very hard on those issues as we talk to try to settle some of them once and for all. The other thing I want to mention is Aaliyah. She did mention she's an RD, resident RA, or resident assistant. This is her second year for the Women's Wing, so she is very active on top of being student government president, an RA, and also the captain of the volleyball team. We're just so proud of you, so I just wanted to thank you for that. As part of the administration, sometimes, even though it's a great administration, sometimes we forget why we're here, so we're trying to start doing some initial, we're here for students. That's why we come to work every day. But sometimes we get involved with county and city issues. So today I kicked off kind of an initiative for our administration that we're seeking out students to have some social events with them, to get to know them outside the classroom. So today we had lunch. I had lunch with the cosmetology class, about 40 students, and as you can tell, they cut my hair during this. And, so it was well received, and I think we all should be doing that as we move forward with that. The other issue I want to announce is that that Travis George, I think you've all met Travis. He will become November 1st the Director of Multicultural Affairs at the college. He'll be moving out as the Director of Financial Aid. And Misty Taylor, who is one of the best procurement and purchasing directors around, will assume the position of Director of Financial Aid. And we'll make that a campus announcement tomorrow, but he's very excited about this. His passion is that, and he's really helped us within the community, so we're really excited about that. And finally, I'm not going to say much about Brian. Brian's not going to be here in November. He's a very humble man. As I talk about Brian, he's taught me patience, humility, and grace. He's not going to be with us in November. He's going on a cruise to the Mediterranean that he told me about. And of course, in December, we're not going to have a trustee meeting. So we'll probably have to bring him back off the lawnmower in January or February to say, but I can't say enough. I always say Brian and I had our bumps because we're totally different personalities, but our hearts are the same. And over the last few years, we've really melted together. And so I'm very proud of him. We tried to keep him. I even told him to go home that weekend and think about it. So wish you the best of luck. And my final thing is our Union County will have the first time in many, many years our meeting, your board meeting in Union County at the district offices. And the date is different because the second Thursday of the month is Veterans Day, so it would be November 18th. So I wanted to remind you that, and thank you, Renee, for hooking us up with the school district. So I just wanted to let you know that. And board and Mr. Chair, that is my report.
I do want to, I think that it's appropriate before we leave very quickly to speak to, I had the opportunity to be at the joint meeting of the county and the city and the college, and I really felt like it was a good meeting. There was a lot of good, meaningful conversation. Communication happened. That's the most important thing. Real, bona fide, legitimate communication happened, and everybody was sincere. Everybody has the same goal: the health, the welfare of this community, and the populations of the individuals that each one of those various organizations serves. And they all did a great job of representing their constituencies that evening. The president did a great job in his presentation that he made. He made some very powerful points that begged a lot of questions that they're working on now. And so we think progress is being made, and we really appreciate it. I want to thank the president for making that happen, and our outstanding board attorney who worked to make it happen as well. So thank you both. It was a great evening. Well done. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions about that? Okay. If
Well,
not,
it's on TV, and I thought that...
oh, you did get to see it?
Yes.
Good.
Did
Very
very
good.
good. That's
Great. Okay, then you hear our next board meeting, November the 18th, is in Union, not Gilchrist. I'm going to give my apologies in advance. I have not even made the president aware, but I have one child. He's the engine and the caboose, and he is going to marry the sweetest girl I've ever met in my life in Clinton, Mississippi on the 19th of November. So I'm going to beg my excuses and apologies. I'm sorry. I know y'all will do well. I just hate on this, the Union County cooking. They cook over there. Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So we'll have a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All right. Good evening.
No, that's what I mean.